Well, hello everybody, and I want to say I am sorry, but this is the first ever pre recorded Saturday Sparks Live, and that is because I have the honor of standing in my sister in law's wedding tomorrow. We're up here in Side Lake, Minnesota, in getting married in Hibbing, Minnesota. So, shout out to anyone up here in the great northern Northwoods of Minnesota. And so today you get the honor of seeing this or watching this after the fact while I sit here and enjoy the sunset against this beautiful lake and beautiful body of water in God's creation here. So the question that we have that came in this week was regarding email marketing strategies for electricians. And one of the things that is very uh, nuanced about email marketing is that there's uh, there's a fine line difference between sending email out 4 days a week to your audience and sending email out every other month or once a quarter to your audience. So really what you want to do is you want to find that rhythm, find that cadence that's really helpful for individuals. You can use tools that will tell you what your open rate is, what your click rate is, and your engagement is around those emails, and really kind of nail down that rhythm that works for your business. And I would start with a once a month cadence where you are providing a blend of a valuable electrical tip, a story from the month, and a promotion that you have for the upcoming month. And so keeping those kind of three things in balance as you are using your email list. So that's kind of where I want to start from a high level perspective. Beyond the cadence of sending your emails, how do you go about building your email list or collecting emails from your customers? And so one of the things that is challenging in today's world is we're so tempted to just buy lists or use lists that are provided for us without understanding where they came from and if they're valid or not. And what is not good about that is they're oftentimes not going to be local to you. You're not going to be offering them something that they would understand or want, and just don't go down that trail. And so you'll want to have a means to collect the email addresses from the customers that you actually work with, or the leads that you get on your website, or offering some kind of like incentivized sign up, either on your website or in a social post or any of that kind of stuff. And so starting with your customers, okay? Everyone probably has some sort of CRM tool or an invoicing tool. If you don't and you are taking cash under the table, this Saturday Sparks episode is not for you. Um, but if you are if you're using QuickBooks Online, if you're using Service Titan or Jobber or House Call Pro, every single one of them has a means to collect and store email addresses for your customers. Secondly, you want to make sure that those email addresses are valid and are working and operational. You can do that a number of ways. One of the ways you can do that is just plan testing it. So if your CRM tool is sending out emails, or if your invoicing tool sends out emails and they're responding with payment, then it's clear that the email is working. If you are collecting email addresses from your website leads or from signups on your website, then running those emails through a validation tool like Unbounce, or I think that's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. But really, you just pay, I think it's like literally pennies for 100 emails to validate, and it will check to make sure that the email is valid, that's not misspelled, that it's going to the right person, and that it's not bouncing back, or it's not a catch-all email or any of that kind of stuff. And so that's what you want to do with the list that you are doing, and as you grow your list, make sure you continue to do that. So the methods that you could take to increase the amount of email addresses you have in your list, and one of the things that is most important with this is what's called first party data. And first party data is becoming very important in today's world, and here's why. We live in a cancel culture, and it is only a matter of time before something that you use gets taken away from you. I'll give a perfect example of this. One of the buddies of mine who runs one of the largest AI entrepreneur Facebook groups out there and the most active actually got suspended. That group got suspended and taken away by Facebook. Fortunately, it was a mistake on their end. It was an automated bot that went through and followed up on reports. Ended up being a bunch of competitors that would use things to report the group. But it really kind of opened my eyes, and it should open your eyes, to the space that we have on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok or any of those things. They're rented spaces. So they're third-party data. And so when you are doing email marketing and capturing personal email addresses, cell phone numbers of your customers, that is your first-party data. You own that data, and it cannot get taken away from you. And so that's very important in today's day and age. So exporting customer lists, using your website to capture leads through forms, making sure that your forms have terms on them that say, hey, I'm collecting your email, that kind of stuff. And third is some kind of like incentivized sign up, or they call it a lead magnet in some of the marketing terms or marketing worlds. And really what this is offering value in exchange for information. And so this could be a checklist for a homeowner that says 5 things you should check before you call an electrician. Or it could be a seasonal prep handbook. So here are the things that you should do in your home within each season of the year to make sure that you are doing well from an electrical standpoint. And you would basically have that on your website, or you can post about it on social media and have people submit their email information for that checklist or that handbook data. I'm not. I go back and forth on the incentivized signups or the lead magnet stuff because it's so often abused by large businesses, and so I want to caution people from abusing that approach and that method, and don't use any sort of misleading information when you are collecting people's personal information. One of the things that I've put back and forth in my mind is offering a content roadmap for a customized content roadmap for anybody looking for one. And instead of asking for their information before they see the roadmap, actually showing them a preview of what the roadmap looks like, and if they would find that valuable, to then submit their information to get their own customized roadmap. And so it's like, okay, I'm not gonna just take your email and then start sending you 5 emails a day. Don't send 5 emails a day. Oh man. Okay, so that's the first part. Building your lead list. You want to make sure that you have the ability to pull that off. Other means that you can do. Some people have like pop-ups on their website that have like $25 off your first service. Just drop your email here. That's more e-commerce. You'll see that more on e-commerce websites and shop websites. If you have invoicing services or invoice software, you can kind of add a checkbox to the payment if you're collecting payment online. It says, hey, yeah, send me any seasonal safety tips or any offers that you might have in the future. Sometimes you can partner with like local home inspectors or local realtors, and you can give them kind of a custom checklist or a co-branded guide for their clients in exchange for the access to those homeowner emails, or maybe even a spotlight in their welcome packet for new move-ins and that kind of stuff. So those are some other ways you can do to get new emails for your email list. So then you want to pick your cadence. So like I said, monthly is probably good to start out with, and just pick one short tip, a customer story, and a promo. You can kind of build out your whole annual, like your whole year's calendar based on different things that people run into in different times of the year. So the thing you want to do and you want to make sure you do in that is include some sort of call to action. Because if you're just sending out monthly tips and customer stories with a promo and no like, hey, do you need help with this type of service, or if this story was really impactful, we'd love to feature your story, reach out and we'd put you in the next email newsletter or something like that. So, yeah. The other kind of option you could do for email marketing, instead of just like that straight monthly, and you might do this in addition. So, some tools will allow you to set up automation around your service, and so if you have the ability to schedule out a series of emails after you've completed a service or a successful job for a customer. And so an example kind of drip sequence or flow would be one day after the job saying, hey, thanks for trusting on this. You got any questions on what you experience, what you have, and maybe just confirming everything is still operational and working well for your family. Maybe a week later, you send out another email that showcases some of the reviews from past customers and just asking for a Google review based on the service that was provided. Then maybe a month later, you offer a referral reward or something. And so, hey, if you know anyone who needs electrical work done, if it is working on a remodel or any of that kind of stuff, and you give them our name, like we'll send you a $50 Visa gift card or something. And that can all be set up automatically without you even thinking about it. You can also do that for like signups or like new customers. You can welcome them to your business, have emails around introducing your team, the story behind the business, what makes you unique and different, all the different services that you offer, that kind of stuff. Another idea for email marketing is pulling out and putting seasonal reminders. And so this can fall into your monthly cadence, but taking the time to think about what homeowners need to pay attention to in the different seasons. So like spring, okay, it's time to start testing your outdoor outlets and GFCI before the barbecue season comes. I mean, I don't have a Traeger anymore, but I had a Traeger and it was plugged into a GFCI outdoor outlet. It would suck if I went to grill my first steak of the season and the outlet didn't work. Then it came in. Then a planned service call turns into a, hey, I need you here tomorrow because I have these steaks that I want to grill. First world problems. Um, or in the summer, maybe you run a reminder about the air conditioning and how sometimes that air conditioning can really stress out your electrical panel. And here are the things that you want to check to make sure that you are not putting an unreasonable burden on the circuits and causing some damage. And then in the winter time, maybe you send out something about not letting old wiring ruin the holiday lights that you have put out there, and making sure that you're prepped and ready for that. So those are some seasonal things. You can also do like storm season. So storm season is right around the corner. You want to be left without power, or do you want to be the only house on the block with power? We've got a standby generator special going right now, and love to be out there and give you a quote. Other topical ideas for email marketing campaigns, having some like introducing some sort of maintenance plan or a special offer, that kind of stuff. So keeping the offer not super like salesy and spammy, but letting them know like this is a limited time offer for you. So we're offering 15% off generator install, SAMA generator installs or something. Yeah. So, and I guess as I'm jumping into some of the topic ideas, one of the things that people are often struggle with when it comes to email marketing is, what tool should I use? So should I just use my CRM? Should I use my invoicing tool? Should I just copy all the hundreds of email addresses and put it into my Outlook or my Gmail and send them that way? And the answer to all of those is no. Don't do that. Here's why. So if you send them out using your CRM tool, it depends on the CRM, but most CRM tools and invoicing softwares, they're not built for email marketing. They're built for transactional emails. And even if they say they have email marketing capabilities and you can send mass emails and that kind of stuff, they don't have the things you need to be successful. And what I mean by that is, when you are sending out an email to more than 200 people, you need to have a way to identify which ones come back as bounced, which ones are requesting unsubscribe, which ones clicked spam, and filtering those out for the next time you send an email out. And a lot of those invoicing softwares, the CRMs, don't do that. And so what we use and we recommend is a tool called Klaviyo. And Klaviyo is an email marketing first platform. It also does SMS marketing, which could be handy. We'll talk about that maybe in another Saturday Sparks, because there's a lot of controversy around that. But Klaviyo has the capabilities to not only send out the mass emails, but they have the ability to automatically modify your lists to take out the bounced emails, take out the emails that were spam, take out the emails that were unsubscribed. But they also take it one step further, and they provide you with the abilities and the rules to be able to create engaged users lists. And you might be thinking, well, that sounds like I'm only going to send out a very small portion of emails to my email list. I've got 2,000 customers on my customer list. I want all 2,000 of them to get my email every month. What are you talking about? No. You don't want all 2,000 people getting your email every month. And here's why. The more people that do not open your email, that do not click anything in your email, that mark your email as spam, or that unsubscribe for your email, the more those happen, the worse your spam complaint or spam rating goes for your domain. So email marketing and email cyberspace has a rating system when it comes to your domain. So that's everything after the @ symbol. So if you were to send out thousands of emails every month to people, and you had maybe 100 people per month open them, maybe you had 10 people click on them, and you had, let's say, 5 people mark them as spam, and etc. What starts to happen is the email servers that are receiving that email start to look at your domain and say, nobody's really engaging in this email. I'm going to either put it in the junk folder automatically, or I'm going to put it into like a promotions or an updates or social or some other like tab within like Gmail. Or Outlook now has like a focused mode, and so you'll have emails going in the other category that people don't see and don't really look at. And so email is more than it has evolved to more than just junk mail and inbox. So there's tabs, there's ways to show your email where they're at, and so what you want to do instead is you want to send your email every month to the people that have opened it, have clicked on something, have maybe replied to the email. Those are really the only people you want to send email to, because they're gonna show that your domain has authority, it has trust, people are using it, and it is something that the email servers like Gmail and Outlook, they will put it more in the inbox instead of in the other or the junk mail. So Klaviyo has the ability to do that automatically. And so one of the clients that we have, not an electrician, it's actually a game store out in Vancouver. Really great guy, awesome company that he's got going out there. He's growing. He's moving into a brand new shop that's like 3 times the size. And so we've been running email campaigns for him once a week for, I think it's going on a year and a half now. And we use Klaviyo to send those emails to the people that have engaged in the last 90 days. So if someone has opened the email, clicked on an email, replied to an email in the past 90 days, they're put on this engaged user list. And so he started with us with about 8,700 people on his list, or customers on his list. And we have whittled it down over the past year and a half to about 1,400 to 2,500 of engaged users. But here's the thing. His open rate is at 78% on average. Open rates are a good open rate for a promotional email these days is 22%. So he's accomplishing 3 times what the good rate is for the industry. His click rate is at about 18% on average. A good click rate is like 2%. And he is earning sales of upwards of $1,500 to $3,000 every email that we send out, because we're only sending it out to the people that matter, the people that are engaged, the people that want to see the email every week and click on it and buy stuff. And so using tools like Klaviyo will help you avoid the spam folder, avoid the promotions folder, and get to your audience that actually wants to hear from you. And so that's probably my biggest recommendation for anyone who wants to start doing email marketing is invest in a tool like Klaviyo. Because it's not just about sending an email blast anymore. It's about making sure that you show up in the inbox and that you show up with a purpose for the people that are receiving that email. So, other other things that you might want to avoid, or common pitfalls, I guess, when it comes to email marketing, is having a lot of text in the email and having it not formatted in such a way that mobile can see it well. Um, Most of the people are going to see your email from their smartphone device. And so if you are not formatting the email to be viewed on a mobile device well, then it's just going to cause frustration. People aren't going to get engaged. Um, Sending without permission. So if you have um, an opt-in process, or if you have an email or like an invoicing system that doesn't request if they receive promotion emails, don't don't use the don't use that and send those out, because what happens is you get spam complaints, your domain gets banned, and you just lose trust with the industry, with the customers that you're working with. Uh, Second or third, maybe, overloading the email with technical jargon. And so I struggle with this one. Well, not really, I guess. I used to struggle with this one. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your email is filled with story-based content, content that people understand. Think your everyday layman is not going to know what d squared circuit breaker is. They might not even know what a circuit breaker is. And so make sure that you speak right like you would when you're talking to a homeowner in their home. The next common pitfall is being inconsistent with your sending patterns. And so if you aren't going to go all in and commit to a monthly email, or weekly, or whatever you want to do, don't do it. Because if you're going to send out an email once every blue moon, people are not going to remember who you are. You're going to fall off their radar. They're going to see it, and they're going to actually be more like, oh, this is just junk, instead of, I'm really looking forward to my electrical tips from Rhino Electric this month. And so this is kind of a funny thing. I don't know if anybody. I think Scott can make an email so exciting that homeowners would want to receive it every month. So that's my challenge to you, Scott. I'm calling you out. Next pitfall people have is not having a clear call to action. We've talked about this one. If they don't know what they need to do next, what you want them to do next, they're not going to do anything. They're going to read it, they're going to archive it, delete it, whatever. So always include a very clear button or link, schedule now, get a free quote, claim your discount, that kind of stuff. Next pitfall is making it all about you. And so this one, people want, it's funny because it's the opposite. Like people want to feel valued, and business owners want to feel valued as well. And so sometimes we're tempted to tell our story and tell all about us, when the customer receiving the email wants to be the center of the story. They want it to be about them. And so when you're writing those emails, focus on solving the pain points that they experience, the things that they need to know, and the results that they can get from those things and those tips. When you are sending emails with a marketing campaign, you want to avoid using your primary domain. And this goes back to the spam complaint issue and your domain getting blocked out, blacklisted, that kind of stuff. Because the last thing you want is your email marketing campaign to impact your transactional emails, like the emails that go out that say, "Hey, you have an invoice due." You don't really want those going to spam. And if you use your primary domain and people start spamming out your emails that get sent out because they have no value. Not saying that that's what you would do, but it could happen. then all of a sudden those invoice emails that are going to the one-on-one customer end up in their spam folder, and you don't get paid. And so what you want to do is you want to go out to like a GoDaddy or a Bluehost or a Namecheap or any domain provider, and you want to find a domain that aligns with your brand and is very similar to your brand. So, for instance, with the Marketing Clerics, we have probably about 15 other domains that are related to the Marketing Clerics. So we have like marketingclerics.com, we have marketingclerics.net, we have themarketingclerics.com, themarketingclerics.net. We have the Marketing Clerks, because oftentimes when I say clerics, people are like, clerks? Who are the marketing clerks? Like, what's a clerk? So we have the marketingclerks.com as an inside joke. We have the marketingcleric.com, marketingcleric.com. And so these are all like different domains that are very similar to our brand. And what we do is we have all of those domains land on the same website. They all land on themarketingclerics.com. But we have those domains so that we have emails and email domains that we can use for marketing campaigns that will not spam out our main primary domain. And so to do this, you just go out to, like I said, out to GoDaddy, take your website. So let's say you're rhinoelectric.net. Maybe you go out and you find one that says rhinoelectricllc.com or theelectricrhino.com or something that's similar to the brand, but just a little bit different. And then buy those domains and then set up your website so that those domains also land on your website. You can do that with redirects and that kind of stuff. You can set those right up within GoDaddy. And so those are handy to have. So then when you're using those, your email is branded and doesn't look like it's coming from a gmail.com or a yahoo.com or an AOL.com if it still exists. But you want to use something that's branded to you. You want to include your logo, your colors, your brand colors, and make sure that you include your signature and sign off as the company for this, and then also including at the very footer, the bottom, an unsubscribe link and option, because that's legally mandated for all marketing-based emails. So. And the last pitfall I would say is neglecting to track your performance on your email marketing campaigns. So you send out one a month. You don't know how many people open it. You don't know how many people click on it. You don't know really anything about the success of that email aside from it went out. And so every email that we send out has a unique tracking URL code. So any clicks on that will get tracked to our dashboard of this is the email that attributed that sale or that lead. Every email we send out has the basic tracking measures on it, so open rate, clicks rates, unsubscribes, spam outs, that kind of stuff. And so that we can see, okay, these are the types of emails that are getting opened a lot better. This is the subject line that people are opening. This is the call to action that people are clicking the most. This is the story that people are aligning with the most. Let's find similar stories, similar calls to action, similar offers, and that kind of stuff. So keeping a close eye on the type of content that you are sending out in email. So that is about all I had when it comes to email marketing. And I think at the end of the day, my best recommendation for you is to find a cadence or a timeline that works best for you and try it out. And when I say try it out, don't just say, okay, I'll send it out once a month and I'm going to think about the idea and what I'm going to send the day before it needs to go out. No, what I want you to do is commit to a timeline, and if it's once a month, take the next 12 months, identify topics you're going to talk about, promotions you're going to add, maybe stories that you have, and just put those in 3 bullet points in each of the emails for the next 12 months, and that way, when you get to the point where, hey, the next email is due next month and I gotta get it prepped, you already know what topic you're going to talk about, you already know the promotion, and you already know the customer story you're going to highlight. And so having that all ready to go is really helpful. And then try that for a year and see what happens. The number one thing that a lot of, especially trades businesses, fail to realize is that customer reactivation is a heck of a lot easier than brand new customer acquisition. And so what I mean by that is a customer that has been a customer with you has seen your workmanship and trusts you. If they see an email from you about a new promotion that they may or may not need, they have a 35% chance of reaching out to you to get service. When you are doing a cold email or a cold Google ad or a Facebook ad, your chances of conversion range between 5 and 10%. And so if you're not using email marketing, you are missing out on a potential gold mine. And so it's one of those things. I personally suck at email marketing, and part of that is because I feel like I'm bugging people when I'm emailing them, and I think I just need to get past that, get around that, because that's not. If that's the case, then either my content is wrong, or my offer is too salesy, or I have the wrong people in my list. And so get through that mental block in your mind, because the customers that know, like, and trust you, that have used you in the past, they want to hear from you. The people that are the content that you put out needs to be something that they're going to want to read, they're going to want to engage with. And so one of the things that I've done and come to do is all of the emails that I draft, I run them by my wife. Because if there's one person in this entire globe that hates junk email more than Christy, there's nobody. Like, she is the worst person when it comes to spamming and junk mail emails. She abhors it. And she, to the point where, like, I'm like, hey, we're going to try this email campaign out. And she's like, email's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, nobody responds to any email. It's just terrible. And so if I can convince her that the content is valuable, that it's insightful, and it's fun, then it is a good email to send out. So find that one person in your life that just hates junk email and run your email by them. So anyway, that's my Saturday Sparks pre-recorded. I'm not sure exactly how long I've been going. Oh, it's 38 minutes. Okay, great. If you have any other questions, you are more than welcome to comment on the video. I apologize for not being able to be here live, but it is something that I wanted to continue to provide value every week. And so I wasn't just going to say I'm skipping it. And so I hope that you found this valuable. Email marketing 101 for electricians and tradesmen. The tips that we talked about and the strategies that we covered are not ones that you want to miss. And so record this, save this video, and start implementing these strategies today, because really it's one of those things where it helps you get through some of the slow months sometimes. And so if you have any questions around email marketing or email campaigns, if you maybe want to run an email draft by me, happy to take a look at that. Just slide into my DMs, so to speak, the hip language. Just send me a DM or leave a comment on the video, and I'd be happy to take a look for you. Otherwise, if you ever want to schedule a one-on-one call just to go through any of the things that you're doing, any things that you could improve on, I'm happy to provide that advice. It's actually one of the best things I like about owning a digital marketing company is helping business owners clear through roadblocks that they might have when it comes to marketing. And I don't charge enough for it. And by that, I mean I don't charge anything for it. So I do it in hopes of you seeing the value and understanding that this kind of value isn't free, and that eventually you'll come around and say, hey, don't you provide agency services? Yeah, I do. But I'm happy to talk about them. And so one of the things, and this is me going on a tangent. You notice how you are bringing up to me, and so I I'm not a cold sales guy. I don't reach out. I do reach out. I connect and I network, but I don't reach out to schedule a sales call to get you on the hook for agency services. I reach out because I genuinely want to help and serve. And so hopefully you guys can see that, and people can see that over time. But it's all in the Lord's hand. So anyway, I am going to wrap up at this point because I am getting eaten alive by mosquitoes here on the lake. But it's been great to have this opportunity to record this and post this live as a premiere. Leave a comment if you have any questions for next week. Otherwise, we will catch you all live next week. It is the day after Independence Day, and so, but thankfully we're sticking around the house this year. So we'll catch you next Saturday at 9 a.m. Central Time right here on Facebook.